met her. She was fed and resolving. We just started. I said, oh, a single wagon. And we just kind of met her. She was fed and resolving. I said, oh, a single wagon. And we just kind of met her. She was fed and resolving. I said, oh, a single wagon.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's smiling down from up there, you know, looking at us, getting ready.
Really thinking up there?
Yeah, he's floating around here somewhere. Yeah, we've got a good turnout today. A lot of his friends are here, relatives. My grandma Mike made it. Mike videotaping, I appreciate it. Mike, he knew him as Sutherland. I got my dad's old boards here. Got the thruster, and then this is a 9.2. Got the 10.2 here, which I'm gonna have to salvage, obviously. Taking a few beatings. This is the last wave he caught here at 38th Avenue. Waited all day to catch it, and there's my daughter burning him. Takes off right in front of him. She always had to be in the front. He waited all day for that wave. Sitting out there with no suit, you know, so that's why in honor of him, I'm probably gonna paddle out with no suit today. See if I can do it. So he took me down here too. This is when I was a young kid. There I am sitting there, I must have been 14, down on the beach, down in Mexico. This is probably one of the same spots down in Scorpion Bay. He loves going down there. But here he is down in Scorpion Bay with my daughter, Chloe. This is about a month before he passed away also. So those were his most recent photos. But yeah, in honor of the old man, I'm gonna take his board out with no suit, spread his ashes, and yeah, we'll have lots of stories to come. Sure, it's going to be a good day of storytelling.
We met in the Coast Guard some 50 years ago. The day Ron and I met was kind of a comic thing. We were both stationed in the district office, which was also the customs house in San Francisco. And the customs agents had just busted a man dressed up like a priest with about 20 kilos of pot. Well, Ron and myself, being the lowest ranked people around, were ordered to unload the pot from the guy's car. In the course of unloading the pot, we happened to drop some on the floor and step on it and spread it out and this and that. So we asked the chief petty officer, Chief, what should we do with all this stuff? He said, just throw it in the trash. There's plenty of it. Well, guess who emptied the trash? And that's how I met Ron 50 years ago. Been through a lot of adventures with him. Lots and lots of adventures with lots of dogs. There's puppy Rascal. Rascal the dog took us on a lot of great adventures, including going when we were fishing the Eel River up in Northern California. He went into the cow pasture to chase the cows, and it was 6 strands of barbed wire. We couldn't get under it, we couldn't get over it, and Rascal wouldn't come out. That took about 4 or 5 hours. And then here's Ron down in Scorpion Bay. We spent a lot of time surfing there. One of the things about Scorpion Bay is it defines a tropical depression. A tropical depression is 3 weeks in Scorpion Bay because there's no surf and you're depressed, believe me. Ron and I spent many and many years fishing together. We fished in Tahiti, we fished in Hawaii. I took him on his first commercial fishing trip over there, and all of a sudden he's covered in blood and tuna, and he loved every minute of it, and he couldn't wait to do it again. And he taught me how to catch salmon. I never knew how to catch a salmon until he taught me. It's one of many, many salmon that he caught together. And here we are on a beach somewhere having a good time as usual. I think those are the same sunglasses I'm wearing right now. Nah, they aren't. Palm Desert, where he was working, and he had this beautiful, beautiful slope-nosed port. Oh, God, was that car fast. And we'd take it to Laughlin and get from Palm Desert to Laughlin in an hour and a half. maybe 2, but only if we stopped for beer. And his girls, he always had his girls with him. Didn't matter where he was, he had his girls with him. So I've kind of followed suit now, and I've got a couple girls of my own down in Costa Rica. He was a man who lived his life the way he wanted to live his life. I was lucky enough to share a lot of it with him, a whole lot of it. And I can't say that I'm sad, because I love the man so much. He's still with me, and he'll never leave me. And you know, it's just, he's a part of my life. You know, 50 years doesn't happen unless it takes 50 years. He'll be remembered and loved forever by so many.
When I met him as probably in 1970, I was transferred up to Point Arena Radar Station, and took my surfboard with me, wetsuit, and was surfing one of the little breaks, beach breaks, and Ron comes driving up and just introduced himself, and we became brothers from then on. He was stationed at the Coast Guard Point Arena Lighthouse, and so it was a real fun life we had there. We surfed some virgin places that had never been surfed before, and we did some crazy things. We'd climb the redwood trees on the ranch that they lived on to the very top when the wind was blowing, and he had a roach clip on the end of a car antenna, and we would pass it back and forth as the trees passed each other. Crazy things like that. He wasn't afraid of anything. This one surf spot in Point Arena, we watched it for about 6-7 months from the pier. And we always wanted to surf it, but it was like a quarter mile away. And so finally he said, let's do it. And so he was the first one to jump off the pier, paddle out there, and the first one to take off. And it was, we thought it was just maybe shoulder to head high from that distance, but it was a good 2-3 feet overhead and just ripping. And he was the first one to take off there. He didn't care. He'd do anything. And let's see, I lived up there about 5 years and moved down to Point Arena. And I went to work for the fire department. I hadn't seen Ron in 15 or 20 years. I was in Ventura outside Station 3 and was washing the engine. And it's a pretty busy street right in front of the driveway to the station. And I hear this, Ron Duran! And I turn around, it's Ron sitting shotgun in a car, just driving by, just long enough to say hi. That was pretty interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna miss him. He's here with us. He'll always be here with us.
Go for Ron!